So apparently your songs are worth $150,000 each, 151 to be precise, if you have them on Spotify. So that would mean I have over $8 million worth of music up on Spotify. And that's funny because I've only seen roughly a couple $100 so far. Spotify is suing Xania's archive for $13 trillion for, wait a second, brazen theft of millions of files containing nearly all of the world's commercial sound recordings. Would you look at that? Apparently, Xania's archive scraped over 300 terabytes worth of data off of Spotify database, and they were planning on releasing it all on torrents. Man, I would love for them to actually do it. You know, like they could make it like an app, like we could search for every song that we wanted to stream. They could make it like subscription based or something like that. I would pay for that. So ironically, the company responsible for allowing AI scrapers to train their awful models to generate and then distribute AI music to masses directly affecting actual musicians is mad because they've been scrapped without consent. Oh, poor baby, would you like a cookie? Or maybe $13 trillion? This is actually very similar to what happened with Napster back in the early 2000s. And in fact, you want to take a guess on who's siding with Spotify on this one? Yeah, if you're under 30, like me, you probably don't remember this happening at all, but back in 2001, there was this little app called Napster that was causing a lot of trouble amongst major label executives and some musicians and bands. Napster was a peer-to-peer service that allowed users to share and download multiple files directly off of each other's computers. Very much like Xania's archive, but much more ancient. I think you get the idea where this is going. The app was sent into the press's eye when a demo of then unreleased Metallica song I Disappear started circulating around Napster, going as far as being played on live radio, and hence alerting the band members themselves. And after finding out that their entire back catalog was up there as well, they rightfully went, "Yo, youngsters want out for free? Why don't you try working, huh? Don't tread on me." Or something, I don't really know how Metallica members talk. So they filed a lawsuit against Napster. And then Dr. Dre did the same, and then a Madonna song got leaked, and chaos was reigning among the music industry. "How dare this peasants take what I own," said former Sony CEO Doug Morris as he struggled to play an F-bar chord on his $15,000 Taylor acoustic guitar. So they went to trial. The Recording Industry Association of America, representing all of the major labels at the time, Metallica and Dr. Dre. Napster essentially defended themselves by just saying, "We literally have none of those files. We just provide a service for people to share files with each other. We have no access to any information about what the users are sharing, nor any interested in knowing that." And Metallica's response was, "Well, I'm not gonna do the accent anymore. We have a list of 300,000 people who have illegally downloaded our songs." So Napster went, "Very well," and just dealt with it by banning those users, and doing so in a way that when they try to log back into the app, a message will pop up that would just simply say, "Metallica has banned you." Yikes. In the end, they settled for around $35 million to pay for past, present, and potential future royalty licensing in September 2001. Not the most relevant thing to happen that month. And then Napster was acquired by German media firm Bertelsmann, who were then sued in 2003 by Universal Music Group for allegedly funding the Napster service all the way back since 2000. They demanded the German firm to pay $150,000 for every piece of copyrighted music of their property that was downloaded during Napster's last 8 months of service. They ended up settling for $65 million in 2006, so back to today, you're probably beginning to see the patterns in which the recording industry behaves. They don't like something that is making them earn a few less millions, so they sue for an absurd amount of money. They get the problem fixed, they ended up selling for a lot less, and just repeat. In the meantime, independent artists and labels are earning less and less every month, all the while AI artists are topping the charts. What I want to know is, who is cashing in on that crap? Why do we have AI music on Spotify editorial playlists And I'm not entirely siding with Anna's Archive here either, because yes, I know they said their intentions were to build the world's first preservation archive for music, but honestly, what reasons are there to believe that they're not gonna be using this data to train AI models as well? I don't know, at least they won't show you any Pro Eyes ads, that's for sure. So, back on the topic of AI artists, and I hate repeating myself, and I know I say this on every single video, but people just want more to consume at all times. They don't care about quality or genuine intention anymore. If they can have a pretty song in the background when they work, they will have it, no matter what it is or who made it. But putting the blame on the listener alone is a huge mistake, because a listener is only responsible for what they decide to listen to, essentially. And what does the average listener listens to? Well, whatever's on the homepage on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, you name it. So if we make the people responsible for this AI music fever crap, we are in the wrong. The true evil actors here are the recording companies, as well as Spotify, Apple Music, and the streaming services. They actively choose to manipulate their users into consuming what they deem profitable, using their platform and power to not only push away and neglect actual artists, but to propagandize their users with right-wing agenda. Okay, let's play a little game here. I invite you to go to Xania Monet's Spotify page. She, or maybe I should say it, is an AI artist who had 2 of her songs chart in the Billboard Top 50. Scroll down on her page until you find the Fans Also Like section and tell me if you see something funny. Out of 40, at least 25 are fully AI generated profiles, all from bios, photos, and of course music are fake. And a big chunk of them are based on African American, mostly female singers. So whoever is behind this evil nonsense is not only treating music as a culturally hollow consumable from which they could profit, but also actively using and exploiting African American culture for it. All the while actual black artists are struggling to make a few pennies off their songs, and Spotify is unauthorizedly allowing AI scrapers to train their models on their music. You wanna know how much money an artist makes on Spotify on average? I'll tell you, this much. I'm not in the average per se. I have over 5,000 monthly listeners, and that alone puts me somewhere between the top 10 and 5%. I made $150 last month off of roughly 50,000 streams. Now you do the math on how much an artist with 500 monthly listeners will make. Hell, even 100. 100 is a lot of people. I couldn't even dream on playing in a venue with 100 people, and yet Spotify believes you're only entitled for a few cents, $1 at most. I am in a very privileged position, but most artists are not. So, as a listener, what could you do to stop this? Should we boycott Spotify? Yes, we should. Actively choosing to not use Spotify and switching to a more artist-friendly site like Tidal is a great start, but no streaming service is actually artist-friendly per se. Maybe just pick one that doesn't use their profits to fund AI military killing drones and you'll be fine. In the long run, yes, a steady, consistent boycott could make a difference, but it's very unlikely for it to happen. Should we demand independent artists to remove their music from Spotify? No, absolutely not. And I don't say that only because I am an independent artist myself, but like it or not, Spotify is the site that holds the most amount of listeners. By a long shot, that is. So this essentially translates into a larger potential audience for independent musicians. The chance of underground musicians being discovered and ultimately supported by a larger amount of people makes it worth enough having your music up there, regardless of the minimal to non-existent royalties. So instead, you should be actively searching for your favorite artists, going to their websites, their Bandcamp pages, attending their concerts, buying their merch, their CDs, their vinyls, whatever it is. Direct, intentional support is and has always been the best way to support artists. So yeah, stop using Spotify, switch to something else. I personally recommend Tidal because it's cheaper. It sounds a million times better, and I haven't found any ethical reasons not to choose it, other than the fact that it's owned by Jack Dorsey. But yeah, no AI killing drones or Pro Eyes ads that I'm aware of. I wasn't really planning on making this video specifically. I found out about this like a week ago, and it's been bothering me ever since. The sheer audacity these companies have is to be admired, to put it lightly. They try to sell you this, we care for the musicians on our side and we're protecting their intellectual rights bullshit as a facade for we want more money. And the fact that they keep on laughing right at artists' faces and they keep getting away with it, it's starting to get to me. So yeah, that'll be all for this video. I have big plans for this upcoming weeks, so if I were you, I'd subscribe. I think you'll like it. And remember to support your local and non-local independent artists. Creating a Bandcamp account takes like 2 minutes and you get access to an infinite library of mostly free music. The best, most ambitious music you'll ever hear is probably gonna be on Bandcamp first. So yeah, treat yourself to it, you're missing out. Okay, that is all now. Take care and I'll see you soon. No, Shini, baja ahí. No, puta madre, Shini. Okay, my cat just dropped the thing. Now this is gonna be like this.